we're going to do an exercise before we get started because the administrators may be a little nervous about this speech. So I need all the graduates to stand up, all the faculty and staff, and Dr. Rossbarker, you as well. Dr. Safran, let's go. We're all going to stand up and we're going to do an exercise before I get started. So I need everybody to reach, stretch, nice, good stretch. There we go. All right, relax. Professor Green, I need you to participate. All right, shake it off. Everybody shake it off. There we go. All right, now next we're going to do inhale and then exhale. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Good job, Leland. All right, I'm going to do with this message. I just wanted to share with the hundreds and maybe thousands of people in here that I love milkshakes. The socks is something I love. I love socks. And when I was the editor of The Sting, when we had staff meetings, keynote speeches, sometimes I would take my shoes off and walk around. It makes me feel comfortable. And when I delivered leadership conference presentations on campus, I would take my shoes off because it made me feel comfortable. So I'm going to do that right now. There we go. Get them off. There we go. All right. In this moment, I could deliver a message that is uplifting. In this moment, I could deliver a list of people that have helped me arrive at the place that I am at today. In this moment, I could come down and we can all hold hands and sing Kumbaya. We could do an unorthodox dance that'll probably make it on YouTube and make all of us internet sensations. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to take the typical route today. Today, I am going to tell you the cold-hearted truth about the life that you will experience when you leave college. You're going to fail. Each and every one of you, myself included. We are all going to fail. Now, think about that for a minute. Some of us want to be engineers, architects, writers, designers. Some of us want to have our own companies. Some of us want our research and our projects to change the world as we see it. Some of us want to travel. Some of us just want to make a lot of money. And we will never see it. We're going to fail. All of us. Well, that's all I have for today. That's not what you're expecting, I'm sure. Some people want a gladiator, I have a dream speech, and you're not going to get it. The only thing you're going to find when you leave here is failure. However, there's a secret that I'm willing to share with each and every one of you. Failure is our friend. Failure is an advantage. Failure is a tool that we all can use. How many of you want to be successful? How many of you have a goal or a dream? How many of you honestly don't know what you want to do yet? It doesn't matter what you raise your hand to, you're going to fail too. Failure is a teacher. Failure teaches us everything we need to know about life. Failure is going to teach us our potential, what we can and can't do, how far we can go, and when to stop. Now, some of you are looking at me and saying, who does he think he is? Undergraduate student telling me about life. Let me tell you something. I am standing right here, not because of my success on this campus and off campus. I am standing here today because of how I handled failure in my life. Now, 5 years ago, I was a groundskeeper. For those of you that don't know what a groundskeeper is, now that title and the details behind that title may vary, but on the south side of Atlanta, on Riverdale Road and in Forest Park later, a groundskeeper is a glorious title for trash man. 4 years, 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., Monday through Friday, I was a groundskeeper, a trash man. I picked up trash. Occasionally, I would help with evictions and watch single mothers with 5 or 6 kids get put out of their homes. Later, I would lose my job, unemployment. I watched friends lose their mothers and their fathers. I had to help my mother pay mortgage, or the next week we weren't going to have the house. You remember that, Mom? I even tried to get back into school after 4 years of dropping out. And when I tried to come in here to Southern Poly, I was rejected. I know failure all too well. Failure has made me the man that I am today. Failure has taught me about who I can become, how to get there, and what to do. I don't know where I would be if I had not failed during those 4 years. Now, some of you think, oh, well, you know, I have a job already. I'm just going to go out here into the workforce. I already have a plan. And you're still going to fail. And when you fail, you're going to be in a lonely place. Trust me, I've been there before. And when you reach that lonely place, you're going to have to make a decision. Are you going to be content with where you are, or are you going to make the necessary adjustments? Are you going to learn from those mistakes and move forward? Because if you don't, failure is just going to make you victim. Nobody cares about you out there. Nobody. Nobody's going to be there to pat you on the back and tell you it's going to be okay, because they have their own failures to worry about. So if you decide I'm going to use this as an advantage, you're going to have to push forward. And as I pushed forward, I realized that even when I failed, that was just a benchmark. It wasn't anything negative. I can use those as benchmarks. I'm going to learn from this. And eventually, I became hungry for success. I became hungry. I began to see the person that I needed to be. And the person that I needed to be was as real as this podium right here that I'm holding on to. The person that I needed to be was as real as this young woman sitting in front of me. I saw it. I needed to be there. And if I had people around me that were going to stop me from getting there, they had to go too. I lost friends. I lost family members. But something has to give. So I can't be around people that don't want to do anything with their lives. I have nothing against them, but I can't be there. So I began to think as I'm going through this process, I have to have this. I want this. I need this. So my question is, what is it that you need? What is it that you're passionate about? Because whatever that is, you cannot ignore it. You cannot ignore it. So what are you going to do when you fail? What are you going to do when failure comes knocking at the door? Are you going to cry about it and sit in a corner? Are you going to cave in and quit? What are you going to do about it? Let me tell you a story. In 2009, I came to Southern Poly to take an entrance exam. This was going to determine if I could get into school here. Now remember, I was a dropout coming back, highly motivated. I want back in. So I went to the attic. The attic is a testing center on campus. It used to be in the J building. So I go there, I take the test, I fail. I am destroyed. I was ready to give up and just go back to the dead-end job. John Lindsay, who's retired now, was in charge at the time. And he looked me dead in the eye and he said, "Randy, you do whatever you have to do to get back here. But I have a strong feeling you'll be back." He didn't have to tell me that. I'm just a number to him. People come in and out of there taking tests. But he said that. I don't know where he pulled that from. I don't know what he saw in me, but he said that. And so with everything in me, as hard as it was to keep moving, I did. I wouldn't be here if I had quit. Nobody would know who I am if I had just turned around and left. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy, but you have to. You must. So what are you going to do? Because failure is nothing but a learning experience. Every time you fail, it's a learning block. So you just keep adding blocks and you keep moving forward. You learn and you apply to the next step. That's kind of like what we do here in class. You learn and you apply to the next step. See, I think we haven't misconstrued success here and failure down here. They're both the same. They're learning experiences. You have to learn how to balance both. I look at failure and success as one and the same. In fact, I look forward to failure because I'm learning more from it than I do when I succeed. So what are you going to do? How are you going to handle failure when it comes knocking at the door? You see, I stood right there at the top of those steps right there a year ago. Nobody knew who I was. There were no seats available. I had to stand, just like everybody else in here had to stand. And I looked down and I said, wouldn't it be cool if I was a commencement speaker? How awesome would that be? And so I pushed for that. And along the way, things happen. There is nothing magical about me standing up here right now. This could be any student in the audience right now. Any one of you could be right here. We have potential to be great at whatever it is that we want to do. The energy that we put into the things that we love are going to define who we are. That is all that we have. So what are you going to do? Because the only thing that I can tell you about life is that you are going to miss the mark over and over and over. And you'll probably keep missing it if you don't learn anything. What are you going to do? You can look at failure as an enemy, or you can look at it as your best friend, a tool, an advantage. How are you going to use it? How are you going to let it affect you? And if you decide, I'm going to take advantage of this, don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. So on social media the other day, I heard that an undergraduate student shouldn't be allowed to give a commencement speech. He doesn't have enough life experience. And here I am, standing before you, undergraduate student, giving a commencement speech about my life experiences in my socks. We can do whatever we want to do. We truly can. We just don't believe that we can. But when we do, thank you.
Randy is receiving a Bachelor of Arts degree in English and Professional Communication. And so the gold signifies he's receiving honors and his degree. Congratulations.